You gotta stick around and you gotta believe in yourself and you gotta want to do it. And I think some people just don't want to do it. You write a book and you're like, okay, that's it.
Right.
I'm through, I'm star, I wrote a book. You know, then the work has just began. You know, the work just began and you now have to step into what Thug Love is doing, hustle. You're doing it right. You know, you start from the ground up and you build. Then you're able to walk the walk.
Right.
You do what these business people don't do.
Right.
They sit down and they get a research apartment, they go out there and research. You walk the walk, you talk the talk, and at the end of the day, the result is there. It speaks for itself. It's authentic, it's genuine, and you can't say, oh, you know what? He copied somebody's thing.
Yeah, man, Hard Whyte, man. We had to turn the cameras on for that one more game, man.
Hard Whyte, Shannon Holmes, Shannon Holmes Entertainment. Now, Shannon Holmes is, I call him the Dawn of hip hop fiction, because he was one of the originators. You know, the brother was in jail. He wrote Be More Careful, came out and did his thing, and now he branched out into movies. And me and him have always been running together. Real good friends, real tight. He's my brother. I love him. And when he did Hard Whyte, the screenplay, you know, we had a conversation where he had seen the blackout and he's like, thought about it, but never wanted it because of restriction with his company that he signed to. He couldn't write another book. So he said, look, take a screenplay, flip it. And I did that, and there's Hard Whyte the novel, and it's going to be Hard Whyte the movie. You have right now a lot of independent companies. You know, to take you back a little though, if you look at the book world, let's say in the 80s, they had a lot of great authors, black authors coming out. None of them ran their own business. In the 90s, the same thing. In 2000, we saw the emergence of the independent authors / publishers. And there's so many right now, that's why you know it's hip-hop literature. Because it almost patterns what the music did, you know what I mean, the hip-hop music did. The same way, you know, like you have a whole bunch of independent producers and artists who got together, formed labels, eventually got bought out by Sony and others. But they were around, they were the groundwork, they laid the frame for what it is today, you know what I mean, hip-hop, the industry. You know, I know Kenesha Gale, Caroline McGill, that's the queen of hip-hop literature. You got, you know, you got a couple of good people out there doing their thing, and you got to give them props. You know, Deja Vu Publishing with Sexy, she's grown. You know, there are people out there. J.M. Benjamin, he's out there. I respect all of that. What you're doing and what you're going for, because that independence is unique. So much props to all the independent authors and publishers and independent producers like yourself, you know, who are doing their thing. You know, this is what makes the market grow, and this is what makes the industry grow. You know what I'm saying? It fuels the industry.
Augusta Publishing, man. Prior to you even actually building the company itself, man, give us your first book.
I sent it out to people, you know, the majors, and they were like disturbed because they were like, wow, this is hip-hop literature, we never heard of this. What is this, you know, so this won't sell, and, you know, people are not going to read it. So, you know, after a couple of years, I put it out, Get a Faucet, and it was picked up by Black Print. And the time they had on their roster, Mark, Eric, and Eric S. Gray, Mr. Prolific, and Mark Anthony, and a couple other, Wahida Clark was big at the time. Thugs and the Men They Love or whatever. And that was big, and so we went on a good roster, but the people who had the company didn't hold it down So I had Ghetto Girls, so I put out part 2 under Augustus Publishing, which was already formed, but it just stayed stalemated because no one at the time was on it. We weren't doing anything with it, so we decided, you know, okay, enough of the suspense, let's just do Ghetto Girls 2 on Augustus Publishing. So that became the first book that we rode with. You know, once that got going, we sold 15,000 copies of Ghetto Girls 2 in like 2 weeks. We were like, whoa. And you know, then you know the business, the growing pains of doing business came into play. You know, but we stayed with it. We stayed with the course, and You know, we had already mapped it out. You
Right.
know, like we want to run this industry. We want to take this over.
Right, right.
But we also did different things in the book game. You know, like Blackout, for
Right.
example, where we flipped the screenplay to a novel, used the still photos, and designed a chapter. Each chapter heading is designed based
Incredible.
on the still photos.
Incredible.
And inside the book, you sort of feel like you're watching a movie.
Right.
So this one kid walked up to me and go, "Yo, it's a movie book." So you can say we started a movie book. You know, Augustus Publishing, we did that. And during that time, we also started a magazine called Street Literature Review, which was based on the industry. We wanted to be like the source of the industry. You know what I mean? Like put out new authors and feature new writers, but we also kept it real with the legends. We want to feature Donald Goins, Chester Himes, you know, so well, the Vine has a copy of the first issue.
And you know it's amazing, and this is awesome, and this is awesome just to hear that. And you know, you see, and this is good.
We had Quan featured in the first one, and Mr. Prolific, Eric Gray, Shannon Holmes, a great. You know, we were just like trying to shed light on everybody in the industry.
Right, right.
And you know, the support has been great, but we need advertisers, and that's what kept us right now in the love.
Right.
But we're gonna do it again. We're relaunching the magazine this year. With some good issues. In fact, we feature Deborah Cardona, who was just here, sexy. So we got some stuff coming.
Okay.
And in the meantime, we're doing it. You know, we're still putting out other books. We got 10 more new titles coming out, including America's Soul from Mr. Prolific.
So yeah, and this is good, man. You know, he's throwing them out, man. You know, you look at the volumes of books right there. How do you maintain? How do you manage to say, well, you know, in the midst of all this, when do I get a chance to put out a book?
Well, I write all day. You know, it's what I do now. I live it, eat it, sleep it.
Right.
You know, I don't take a break from it. In fact, I try to run away, but it won't let me.